working, okay. A little thingy. Alright, look. Here, I got dirty dishes in the sink. I was building a house in the middle of all this. I got rusty knives. I bought this on clearance today because it's getting to be where hamburger meat is like the price of steak. The reason why I'm doing this is because I successfully lost 100 pounds. Don't care about that. The focus should be on energy level. Let me wash my hands. Because I would gladly be fat again, or I would have never changed my ways if I wasn't feeling like crap. I mean, fat didn't feel fabulous to me. Does it to you? And maybe it's because my frame's actually smaller than I had ever imagined. I mean, I wasn't a size 6 when I was 6 years old, honest to goodness. I was already in the plus size section, I know, by the time I was a teenager. And this was the 90s, so it wasn't cool back then. There wasn't so much acceptance. I definitely heard some fatty 2x4, can't fit through the bathroom door so many times in my life. And don't be mad at it. I ain't mad at it because those are the kind of things that make you. Stuff like that being inside of me is the kind of stuff that made me so miserable that I would have to change. There is a world where you are so grateful for your lowest moments because that was the thing. Like, if it wasn't for that, maybe you'd still be there. I thought that by the time I turned 40, which I'm 40 now, I didn't know if I'd be alive. It wasn't like I was trying to harm myself or anything, but the will to live was definitely leaving my body. Like, why do I want to do this anymore? I feel so miserable constantly. I'm no use to anyone. I'm just, that self-talk was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let me read something for you. This is Psalm 38. Now, I ain't no better than nobody, I promise you this. I am a drinking, cussing, trying to work on my marijuana addiction Christian. Alright? This is the first time I've ever sat down and tried to read the Bible. But it really hit me this morning. Oh Lord, don't rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your rage. Your arrows have struck deep and your blows are crushing me. Because of your anger, my whole body is sick. My health is broken because of my sins. My guilt overwhelms me. It's a burden too heavy to bear. My wounds fester and stink because of my foolish sins. I'm bent over and racked with pain. All day long I walk around filled with grief. A raging fever burns within me and my health is broken. I am exhausted and completely crushed. My groans come from an anguished heart. That's exactly how I was feeling. Exactly how I was feeling. Not that God had somehow punished me, but that I was turning from Him. I could feel that. I could feel the wrong that I was doing. Like, one of the last things that I ate, knowing that I was going to do this sort of ketogenic journey, was this whole thing, this tub like this big, right after Christmas, of these chocolate-covered almonds. They didn't even taste good. I didn't even like it. But I'm sitting there, I'm pounding it and pounding them, right? You know what I long for, my Lord. You hear my every sigh. My heart beats wildly, my strength fails, and I'm going blind. My loved ones and friends stay away, fearing my disease. Even my own family stands at a distance. Meanwhile, my enemies lay traps to kill me. Those who wish me harm make plans to ruin me. All day long they plan their treachery. But I am deaf to all their threats. I am silent before them as one who cannot speak. I choose to hear nothing and I make no reply. for I'm waiting for you, O Lord. You must answer for me, O Lord, my God. Look at this stuff. This is a legit Flintstone vitamin in a bag. All those vitamins. This is what I tried to do. I grabbed this because it's got 10 grams of protein in it for about 3 tablespoons. I'm not going to put that much in here. The hemp hearts. What I did was I tried to just get the nutrients in. Things like, well, this is probably added, but there's massive amounts of B vitamins and things in nutritional yeast. And it kind of tastes like cheese. And I like to add it to salads or things like this. Nobody's even going to taste it, usually, but you're going to get all those added vitamins in there without even knowing it. And I put the hemp hearts in the meatloaf instead of breadcrumbs, which you could use a keto bread or whatever. Almond flour is going to be grainy. Coconut flour is going to be way too sweet. I use seasonings, y'all. Like this one doesn't start with sugar as the first ingredient. I see maltodextrin way down there at the bottom. And I kind of lean towards these Kinders because of that. But if you're not going to eat the meat, if you don't have seasonings or sliced cheese, eat those things. Eat those things. Because the point is getting this into you, getting the nutrients into you. Because if you were like me and feeling as horrible as those words I just read, I think David was referring to when he had leprosy. But those words spoke to me because my guilt overwhelms me. It's a burden too heavy to bear. I'm bent over and racked with pain all day long. I walk around with grief. A raging fever burns within me, and my health is broken. Yeah. It was like I knew God, but I wasn't calling to Him. And in my absolute lowest moment, He was there for me, I think. Worcestershire sauce. If you love it, feel like I'm never going to have Worcestershire sauce again. Honey, I was not Worcestershire sauce fat, okay? I know how to cook. Come on, Paula Deen Southern Living, know how to cook, don't you? You don't need my recipes for meatloaf. You just need to know this is what I'm always talking to myself from 3.5 years ago. Because some of the people that really inspired me and helped me to learn how to do this, they don't really go by keto anymore, which I understand it's maybe a fad word, but I want to be loyal to the thing that helped me a lot. Now, keto is just a 4-letter word, of course, but when you go on YouTube or somewhere, Pinterest, and you're searching it up, keto is the word I put in, right? So I just want to be loyal to that, and anybody else that's maybe just finding it just now. Onion is pretty sweet, actually, especially after you cook it. I used to could eat so much of this, but now I try to go easy on it because I know what the insulin spike feels like. It's kind of like a caffeine rush, except instead of kind of going up and then you ride that roller coaster for a little while and you come down, it's crash. That's how I've learned to feel when I get an insulin spike, which you should spike your insulin. I'm not a medical professional, Dove. I'm just here talking to myself, okay? There is hope, honey darling. I think that's enough for me on that. Oh, and instead of, the thing about meatloaf is you put the breadcrumbs in there and then you put a little milk or what have you in there. I still do that. It's gonna make it still taste like meatloaf. I swear, people have come to my house and have meatloaf, and you can't taste the hemp hearts, and you don't miss the bread. Like that was because before meatloaf was poor people food, basically. And forgot the bell pepper. I forgot the bell pepper. This is bell pepper that we grow in our garden. If you can grow your own food, like tomatoes and herbs, you're gonna want to eat it so much more. Something about that, for sure. Speaking of that, if you don't like asparagus, grow your own asparagus. It tastes so sweet coming directly out of the yard. And we've had asparagus coming up ever since spring. It's still like once a week we'll get another one. But anyway, meatloaf was a poor people food, right? And then you'd have to stretch it out for your family with the bread. Well, I can't even hardly afford meatloaf no more, so I don't know. Things have changed, right? Beef is the best. I stick with beef most of the time. Beef, eggs. Chicken just don't have enough fat on it, so usually if I'm making something with chicken, it's normally gonna have cheese. I'm a cheese eater. Cheese Louise, cheese please. That's me. But you will have your foods again. There was a time, I'd say for at least 6 months, I tracked on I think it was called Keto diet app or something, where I just put there's other apps, put what I would eat in there. And I did that for, 6 months or a year, however long I paid for the app for, just to learn, because you have no idea how many carbs and sugars and all this, whatever, even protein is in something. Calories, in my opinion, calories are completely made up. How can you, in my opinion, how can you say, all right, I'm gonna burn this bell pepper on fire, and however long it takes to burn this bell pepper on fire that equates to calories somehow, and somehow that's supposed to give us a measurement for digesting food. Let's just let that sink in. That's the way I see calories. If anything, look at calories instead of a daily allotment, look at it as a weekly allotment, right? One of my very first videos, I shop at the bargain bin, United Grocery or whatever. People always think I spend so much money. No, I do not, because you're not buying all that other junk, so then you have money for the good stuff, for salmon, and things like that. And the stupid nutritional yeast that I bought this morning, because I actually haven't used that in quite a while, it was like $7 or something, but that right there probably lasts me like 3 years, so I ain't worried about it. Anywho, everybody just I needed to know, like, how do you do this? How do you do this? I tried other things. I was like trying yogurt. I was eating Noosa yogurt, which if you know, I may as well have just had a milkshake. But when I go to pick my daughter up at school, I'm one of them morons that's there early in line, because I don't want her to be waiting forever. And I would eat every day I ate a Noosa yogurt and some strawberries and some pecans, which failed, right? Obviously, I didn't lose any weight or anything, but you just gotta start getting your foot in the door and start going that way. Start working on yourself. Mirror high fives, please, please, mirror high fives. If you hate it, good. You definitely should be doing it. Heard that from Mel Robbins. It's like I'm trying to get all the information that I could possibly tell you into one video. We're not promised tomorrow, right? I don't want to keep doing this forever. I mean, it takes, right now nobody's here, but usually this takes time away from my family. I can't stand that. I can't stand anything having control over me anymore. It's the worst. Like, anything. Drugs, food, anything. Let's see, got everything in there. Yes. And now, the sub part. Oh yeah. Alright, these sugar-free things, they almost always are not sugar-free. There's an alternative sugar. You gotta look at the glycemic index, especially with maltodextrin. You might as well just have the regular sugar, right? Not saying I don't do it. I mean, look, the no sugar added, it is, well, there's stevia in here. I thought it was sucralose, so that's it. Stevia is a little bit better. A little bit. I've heard some things about stevia affecting like female reproductive systems, so I try not to give it to my daughter too much. Listen, I heard, now I still eat stevia all the time, of course. It's not the greatest as far as the alternative sugars. The best one's allulose, but that's highly processed. So then second up would be like monk fruit, and I use Swerve mostly. I think it's erythritol. Try not to knead it too much. That's what makes meatloaf tough. But it's gonna taste exactly like meatloaf. That's maybe not like your mama. She might have made the best meatloaf ever, and you need to invite me over. But it's gonna be meatloaf. You're not gonna feel deprived, okay? That is the most important thing I want you to learn from my channel, is that you will not feel deprived. Everybody thinks that eating healthy sucks, and it doesn't. The food is better than anything any way that I ever ate before. I'll take some high-low nacho cheese over some Dorito any day. I'll never eat another Dorito again, and not because I can't. Stop saying that too. Stop saying, oh, I can't. No, I don't want to have it. I promise you. I know you can't believe it now, but there will come a day that you will feel that way. I know that I do not want those things, even though I can have them anytime, because they're going to make me feel bad. Anything takes my energy. Let nothing put us under. Do not take my energy. And say if I have a whole mess of cornstarch or something, because I use regular taco seasoning because everybody wants the flavor of Taco Bell, right? I didn't used to. Yes, there was a 6 month to a year period where I was totally strict. I was radical with myself, and that's fine. I needed to do that, but maybe you don't need to do it. I would recommend it. It would be great for anyone if you have the self-discipline. I personally was terribly sick or felt terrible, so I was willing because there was nothing that could be done to me that I was already feeling so bad. Didn't matter. Pick your heart, right? Maybe you don't need to do that. Maybe you're just like, okay, how do these crazy keto carnivore people do this? You'll see. I would be more carnivore in the wintertime. But in the summer, I try to gain fat a little bit so that in the wintertime that muscle can eat that. Gain fat and muscle at the same time, and then whenever you're losing fat, the muscle will eat the fat, and you're left with the muscle. Anyway, don't listen to me about that kind of stuff. You need to go and listen to doctors, basically. Maybe not your particular doctor, because mine, bless her heart, she was the sweetest lady. She moved away, but she never talked to me about diet, even though I was seeing her at least twice a month for a UTI or whatever was going on with me. Never. Either they can't, first off, you're going to lose a customer, right? But it's hurtful. What are you going to say? Like, dude, you fat? I don't really know how that conversation goes. But after you know, after she saw me lose about 50 pounds, I'm not going to tell you the timeline because that doesn't matter, all right? There will be a day when you will not care about the weight loss, and you'll just be so grateful that you actually have energy. Like, the old me, when I would wake up in the morning, just to put my feet on the ground and put my 260 pounds or whatever I was, because, you know, we all quit weighing at the end. When you go to the doctor, you look away, please don't tell me what the number is, right? But it was somewhere in the vicinity of 260. Just my feet. It would take maybe, I don't know, 20 steps before I could walk without, like, it just felt like my nerves were on fire or something was stabbing my feet. I wear barefoot shoes now, Innovates and things like that, and that has absolutely changed my feet for the better. I can run in rocks, I can walk and run outside like it's no problem. And there's a keto meatloaf. The only thing I didn't put bread in there, and I put this in here and a touchy poo of this just to add nutrients in there. So I would do, I'm gonna do some okra with it, and we don't even batter this. I mean, you can. There's lots of different batters that you could use, but if I have a Ninja Never Stick skillet, 2 of them actually. Okay. See? Regular mom, dirty dishes in the sink. Ninja Never Stick. Ninja. It literally makes it to where I don't have to have anything. As long as, you know what, I don't even have to put oil in there. I'll use a little bit of avocado oil, and I don't care what you say about it. You can use, you know, butter, ghee, tallow, all that stuff. Ghee and tallow is expensive, bruh. So is regular butter, but it's the cheapest of all of those, so that's what I would use, regular butter. Or, like I say, when I fry something, when I do this okra, I'm gonna use like a tablespoon of avocado oil, and I only use this company, and this is because of a Thomas DeLore video where they look into olive oils and avocado oils and things, and it turns out this company is the only one that legit is using what they say. If you use avocado oil, you can fry with, and you can put it in things, like if you're gonna make a cake or something, because it hardly has much flavor. If you use olive oil, it's gonna be gross, honey. Olive oil is for after the fact, like on a salad dressing or something. So don't put that in your food. You're gonna taste it, and it's not gonna be great. What else can I say to you? I'll have sliced tomato with that too. I wanted some squash, but I was already spending $11 on the meat, right? You gotta prioritize that though. It may be kind of expensive at the grocery store, but that's like nothing to me. That means nothing to me. I was spending $20 copay plus medicine. And this way, I'm spending the money, but I'm not sick. I feel incredible. I feel like I've won the lottery. Like, how does everybody not know about this? And come with me. Come on. Oh, it ain't gonna go? You wanna go around this way? It ain't going to. It must have died. Once my video, I had my peanut butter and my chocolate chips. I just do like a peanut butter cup in your mouth, you know? I hardly ever do that too. My one thing of peanut butter will last me almost a year. It's just me. The family likes to eat the regular Reese's, what have you, because it's way sweeter, right? Peanut butter also not something that you should be having on a ketogenic diet. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. Peanut butter, when I eat it, I can taste that there are some properties in it, like pinto beans. they have protein or something. I can tell it when I eat honey, a bit of honey. It's like a medicine, and I'm going, how are you just eating this for fun? It tastes like a medicine, and I can see in the wintertime if you were not well to have some honey. Corn does not. When I eat corn, every time I've tried it, even at the Mexican restaurant, the chips that I used to love so much, when I eat it, I'm like, it's not food. It's something about it that doesn't have those properties like peanut butter and pinto beans and honey. You know, something about corn that's totally different for me. Maybe it would be different for you, and you're like, oh, I love corn. I do have baby corn, because the carbs are way less and you get that flavor of corn. I've tried the corn extract for cornbread. Doesn't work. You can use a whole bottle, and it's just... So I let that go. That's one thing. I just don't have cornbread. And at Thanksgiving, I have made a lot of the dressings, especially the pork rind ones, and end up throwing most of it away. Yeah, you can have a little pile of something and feel like you're having that. But the mindset for me had to change of, yeah, that was good. Pop-Tarts are great, right? But I never should have had Pop-Tarts in the first place. That's a new invention. Honey's not a new invention. Cantaloupe, watermelon, things that are not ketogenic, that are grown on the earth from animals or plants. Don't be so hard on yourself about that. Now, if you want to eat I keep bringing up Doritos. I don't even like Doritos that much. I like Funyuns, though. How come Funyuns are never on sale? Somebody tell me that one. Anyway, I don't know what else I could tell you other than keep sharing these stories. Keep trying to put it out there that there is hope. I haven't taken any medicine. I've come off of medicines. I feel incredible. I did dabble in exercise. I didn't understand really what I was doing. There's this lady, this Asian lady, I don't know if you guys know, but she'll be like, you know, do that. Even though, you know, it didn't win me any world records or anything, the point was that I was waking my body up again, because I think when you're obese, or for me, I was maybe developing diabetes, and with the pain in my feet, of course, that's probably, you know what that is, those that know. I'm not going to say it because I'm not a medical person. I just know the changes that I've experienced and what I did to get there and now stay here, because so many people, they'll transition maybe out of keto and then they're like against that. I'm not at all. It's more like, imagine a baseball field where keto, carnivore, low carb, glycemic index. So I try to eat low on the index, basically. And if I don't, if it's watermelon or something, then I definitely stayed away from that stuff for about 2 years, I'm gonna say. And because if you've lost weight sustainably over years, things do change, as they should. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't go through a time where you really eliminate certain things, maybe, and learn self-discipline. I didn't have none of that, for sure. I needed the app. I needed to go hard, all or nothing. But now looking back, I wished I would have Atomic Habits it. Please look into the Atomic Habits, because it's everything. I'm all or nothing person, and that's what kept me from changing so long. Like, nope, I gotta give up everything in the world, right? But I shouldn't have done that. It'd be better to just add things instead of trying to take things away, and also trying to look at it from a perspective of taking things away. I need to put this food up. I could have just added things to my life. Like, I could have added meatloaf done this way, or added half and half mixed with water as my milk, because I didn't even like milk, right? Milk always made me feel blech. Not that I'm lactose intolerant at all, because I eat a mass amount of other dairy things. Just straight up cow's milk was never my bag, so that didn't really bother me that much. How much of a rant is this for you? Suppose it's over now. Just don't be so hard on yourself, huh? Me talking to me. Don't be so hard on yourself. You deserve love right here and now. I was like those words, just in anguish. Something was burning in me, telling me this is not the way to live. It wasn't worth living. The life I was living wasn't worth living. I was just wasting it away. And now you couldn't get me to sit on that couch all day. And my leg better be broke. And even then, I'm going to still, let's do something, y'all. Let's get it, right? Because my energy, the fever that burns inside me now is joy. It's like readiness. Let's go. Let's stay hard. Let me know if you know where that comes from. I definitely went into a stay hard period. Done some Carolyn Garvin and stuff. Tried to, after my energy was like crazy through the roof, like 8 months later, going outside and trying to run. I wanted to do a 5K. And thank goodness for Mind Pump, because that was leading me down a road I really didn't need to go down. So Mind Pump, those guys are not just blockheads. They're very smart. I would have gained the weight back if it was not for listening to them and getting that into my brain about nutrition, because we didn't exactly learn that in school, huh? Forget the food pyramid. It's glycemic index, high protein glycemic index. Even if you're vegan, high protein, okay? Because everything in your body needs that. And I think the B vitamins are very important. So I'm gonna keep it coming. I hope that me doing this gives somebody hope. I don't want this to be so. But I'm doing it because you gotta know, right? You gotta know that you could be just a regular chick. You don't have to have all this money and all this time and everything. You could be just as busy and as anybody else and still manage to get it together.